So the aim of today is to go through the app to make sure you guys are comfortable with it, that you guys know how to use it, so you can implement it in your center. As soon as we finish the webinar today. What I'll do today is I'll go through 3 different scenarios. On the left-hand side, I'm going to go through from an educator's point of view, what your staff members or yourself would do on a day-to-day basis. On the right-hand side on the phone, I'm going to go through it from a parent's point of view. They'll have access to the app as well. Can check this with digital access at a low level. Tony, yes, you can. I'll come back to that in a second. On the right-hand side, I'll go through from a parent's point of view. They'll have access to the app as well. What data they get access to, what images and videos, I'll run through the lot as well. And lastly, I'll go through from a director's point of view, management's point of view, how you access your the portal, how you manage your center going forward by this administration dashboard here. Okay, there's a lot of reds and greens. I'll go through that in a second. So let's run through the typical scenario. I'm Miss Jane. I'm the director of our center Sunnyside here. I have the free OWNA app. I'm about to start work. This is what I'm going to do on a daily routine. Okay, so I might be the wrong screen here. So let me load the app up quickly. Okay, so let me get out this mode. So generally, your apps for your educators are set into staff pin mode. Okay, and the reason why we do that is rather than getting to log in with an email and password every single time, we flick it over to staff pin mode and it goes into this pin mode screen here. So all your staff members would have to do is punch in their pin and pretty much logs them in rather than their email and password every single time. So let's run through the typical scenario. I'm Miss Jane. I come into the center. I'll put in my pin, 99999. I go sign in. Oops, I must have clicked iTunes quickly. Let me get rid of that. Okay, I'll go sign in. And now I'm inside the app. So I haven't checked into the center. I haven't checked into any rooms. I've just physically signed into the app. So next thing I'll do is I'll check into the center. Tap on that center check-in button there, and I'll tap in, check into the center. A couple of things happened behind the scenes. First thing is checks Miss Jane into the center at 1:12 p.m. All timestamp logged as well. You can keep that. You can use that as your timesheet. The second thing it does, it works out that Miss Jane is the educator responsible. So in here, educator responsible, Miss Jane. So it knows that straight away. It does your responsible person log as well. Okay. Next thing Miss Jane might do is she might have a checklist to do. So she's opening today. First one in the center, she's opening today. She might have a opening checklist to do. Before I do my checklist, I want to quickly show you on the dashboard. If I refresh the dashboard quickly, I can see as a administrator of the center or director of the center, I've got 2 checklists overdue. I've got the opening checklist due at 9:30 and the indoor checklist due at 10:30. Obviously, where I am in Sydney, it's 1:12. So hence it's passed. Checklist hasn't been done. It lets me know straight away. All right. I also would have got a notification on my device at 9:30 and as well as 10:30, letting me know that that checklist hasn't been completed. So what that means is you have, as a center director, a manager of the center, you have transparency. You know exactly what has been done, what hasn't been. You have accountability as well. So you know who's done what time, if it's been done, if it hasn't been done. So let's do the opening checklist, 9:30. So on the app, I go into checklist, and there's a whole bunch of checklists here. So these checklists you write out yourself. We don't dictate what checklist you have. Whatever you have at the moment, I assume you probably have it on paper. All you do is transfer it into the portal here and be available inside the app. I won't go through how to create a checklist. That's part of admin training. I click on checklist, and in here, this is where I build out my checklist here. All right, and once it's built, once it's ready, it'll be available inside the app. As you can see, a couple of checklists has been done already. Obviously, I had a previous demo earlier. So let's do the opening checklist. I'll go opening. And in here, this is where I'll fill it in. Undock iPad from charging station. Yes, I've done that. I've done this, and that. I can't sign off on it just yet. I have to click through, tap through, complete all the items, record refrigerator temperature. I might say it was 3 degrees. Can't say yes or no, obviously. Center clean and hygienic. Yep, I might say I mopped the floor. And down here, it lights up green. And now I can sign off on it. If I sign off on it, it timestamps it for me. Miss Jane, 1:14, 16th of January, has signed off on the checklist. And if I go to the checklist here, and I'll go back into it, it says Miss Jane has completed the checklist at 1:14 p.m. It's all timestamped, all logged as well. On the portal, as a director of the center, again, I don't have to be at the center. I could be at home, I could be on vacation. I'll log into the portal. I go on my dashboard, it lets me know straight away exactly what's happening in my center. So at the moment, instead of having 2 checklists overdue, I've only got 1, which is the indoor YM. Let's complete that off now. So I'll go to here. Okay, indoor AM. Okay, looks like indoor AM is not assigned to me. Hence, I can't see it in my checklist. It's obviously assigned for another staff member, and they haven't done it yet. Hence, it's overdue at the moment. Okay. Any questions before we proceed? Let me look at the chat box. These checklists part of the free app or at a cost? All for free. Okay, so reception, I'm not sure who you are, but all for free. So what I'm showing you today, I won't touch on any of the paid features and so forth. It'll all be everything that's part of your free app. Okay, and all your alerts as well, all part of it as well. So that's my checklist completed. Next thing I'll do for compliance reason is I'll check into the room that I'm working in for today. So we do your room ratio for you as well. As you can see on the dashboard here, I've got 4 different rooms. I've got the caterpillar room, I've got the zebra room, the lollipop, and the butterfly room. In each of those rooms, I have 4, 1, 0, and 5 children in those rooms. Lollipop is obviously green because there's no educators, no children, so the ratio is correct, obviously. But these other room here, obviously the ratio is incorrect. So I've got four kids, no educators. It lights up red, letting me know straight away that in this case here, I'm out of ratio. I'm in the center. I'm going to check into the caterpillar room for today. So I go into my app and I'll go into room check-in. And if I tap on that now, I'll have my different rooms. So butterfly, lollipop, caterpillar, zebra room, coinciding with my 4 different rooms. So depending on how many rooms you have in your center, you'll set that up inside add room, put in your rooms, and it'll be available inside here, as well as on your dashboard. And also the kids can be assigned a room as well. Okay, so in here, I'll go today. I'm going to check into the caterpillar room. But before I do that, I want to quickly show you, we do programming as well. So if you, staff members might be allocated some time to do some programming. They'll check into programming, break, admin, such as you guys at the moment on a webinar, reception, talking to myself, family grouping, kitchen duties, meal preparation, cleaning duties, excursion, and study. Again, I'm going to check into the caterpillar room. So I'll go caterpillar room. And behind the scenes, if I go back into the dashboard and I refresh it, it lights up green straight away. Miss Jane has moved from the center. She's now into the caterpillar room. I've got 4 children in there at the moment. The ratio is 1 to 4. So hence that ratio is correct. Whereas with these other rooms, the 1 child, no educators, 5 children, no educators, hence the ratio is incorrect. We also do your across the service compliance check as well. What that means is they used to call it under the roof. It's now called across the service. We work out, you might be out of ratio in certain rooms, but across the service, you might be okay. If you are, you get that little green tick appearing there. Okay. Just quickly, any questions before we proceed? I'll just quickly check the chat. No questions there. Any questions? Feel free to type them in. I'll keep proceeding if I don't see any questions. Okay. So that's my room check-in done. So I'm just going to recap quickly. So what I did today, I checked into the center, and that tracks my responsible person, also does my timesheets as well. I've done my checklist, I've completed the checklist, and I've checked into the room that I'm working in for today. And this is exactly what you need to do on a day-to-day basis. All your record keeping, now it's all done on the app, it's all real time, it's all logged, digitally, rather than you guys having to do it on paper, storing boxes of paperwork somewhere. It's all done here on the app going forward. Okay? And it's all for free as well. So that's my check-in done. And up here, that gets reflected, signed in to the caterpillar room. Okay. Next thing I'll do for compliance reason is the kids have come in. Obviously, I know the kids are in. Some have had breakfast, morning tea, had a sleep, had a bottle and so forth, nappy changes. I want to mark that in now so that, again, we're keeping an accurate record, but also from a parent's point of view, they're getting that data as well. Okay, so I'll quickly show you how it works. I go into daily information, and by default, it defaults to the kids that are in my room. I'm checked into the caterpillar room, so hence it defaults to the 4 kids that are in my room. If I want to see all kids in the center, I'll go all, and I've got a list of all the kids in the center here. Okay, so I've got a small demo app, so it's only a small list, but some of you guys might have a large center, 100 kids per day or whatever the case might be. It's going to be quite a long list there. So rather than showing all, you would default it to the room that you're working in, or you checked into for that particular day or that particular moment, because you might check into multiple rooms per day. On the right-hand side here, at the top here, it defaults to the current meal time as well. At the moment, because it's between 11 and 2, it defaults to lunch at this particular moment. If it's after that, it'll default to afternoon tea, late snack. If it's first thing in the morning, it'll default to breakfast. All right? At any time, you can change that. So breakfast is being served. Omar had 1 serving of breakfast. Burns had half a serving of breakfast. I won't mark this all in, obviously, and I'll go tick on that, and that gets recorded straight away. Okay, so we're just saying Omar had one portion of breakfast or one serving, and Jerome has had half a serving. I can leave a comment as well, so I'll quickly show you that on the comment next. So morning tea has come around. Omar, rather than having the standard morning tea, he had a Vegemite toast, for example. So I'll talk more about menus and what parents sees in a second, but it's in this case here, let's assume Omar deviated from, let's fix up Vegemite. Let's say Omar deviated from the standard menu for morning tea. I can write that in here. So Vegemite toast, Jerome's had 1.5 servings, and I'll go, okay. I won't mark this all, but breakfast down to late snack is all the same. It's just all serving based. So Omar, late snack or supper, late afternoon tea, depending on what you call it. Omar was quite hungry. He's had down here 2.5 servings. Jerome's had 1 serving. Again, tap on that, gets recorded straight away. Parents see this straight away as well. So I'll show you what a parent sees in a second, but because I see it straight away, you're going to reduce the amount of phone calls you get from parents asking you, trivial questions like, did Omar eat? Did he sleep? You're going to get that. They're going to get that in real time. They see it straight away. I'll come back to that in a second. Water and milk. So if you guys serve water in the center, you want to track that. You want to let parents know. Omar's had 3 cups of water. Jerome's had 2. Hudson's had 1. Tap on that. Again, that gets recorded straight away. Milk. I'm not talking about bottles here. Bottles I'll talk about in the next section. So milk, if you serve milk in the center, you want to track that. You want to let parents know. Omar's had 2 cups of milk. Jerome's had 1. Tap on that. That gets recorded straight away. If you don't want to track water, you don't want to track milk, just leave it empty. It won't appear in the app for parents. Okay, so I'm showing you what's available today. But feel free, if you guys don't serve breakfast, don't mark up breakfast. It won't appear in the app for parents. Sleep, rest 1, 2, and 3. This is quite important. This is where you mark down the kids, the children's sleep, when they woke and so forth. Parents love to see this. They like to see how the kids are going, what time they've gone to sleep, what time they've woken up. So again, they can make better decisions when the kids are back at home with them at night or whatever the case might be. So I'll quickly run through the sleep. So all you do is you can put in the time manually yourself in the text box here, or we've streamlined it. All you do is tap on the sleep button there and records a sleep time for you. Okay. In Hudson's case, he did not sleep. I'm not going to hit the sleep button, so I might say did not sleep. And up here, I'll tick on that, and that gets recorded straight away. Okay. Let's assume the kids have woken up. I've done my thing. I come back into the app. I go down information. The kids have woken up now. I click on sleep rest, and I'll tap on woke, and records the woke time for me as well. Obviously, it's still the same time, but if it wasn't, it'll show the sleep time and the actual time the child woken up as well. Omar's had a second sleep. I go into here. I go sleep rest 2, and I'll tap on the sleep button there. Okay, so if you guys have the feature, the sleep check alert, what we do for you is when you hit the sleep button there, it will send you a notification every 10 minutes. If a child's under 24 months, to check on their child for the COT sleep check. So the CEQA states for any children under 24 months, centres have to regularly check on the child as soon as they fall asleep. They don't dictate how many minutes or what the interval is. They say regular intervals. We've made it 10 minutes. So every 10 minutes, you get a notification on all your start devices, letting you know to check on Omar because it's under 24 months, and then you do your sleep check tick, which I'll show you in a second as well. Okay, so just remember, hit the sleep, child under 24 months, you get a notification. Omar's woken up. Again, tap on woke, puts in our woke time, but also stops the sleep check notification as well. Because that's your sleep, rest 1, 2, and 3. We don't think a child's going to have more than 3 sleeps, but if they do, just append it to the end of sleep, rest 3. Sunscreen AM and Sunscreen PM. We do your sunscreen alert as well, but I noticed that on the app here, it's not appearing. It should appear inside here. So this might be a small bug in my version here. I have what they call a developer version of the app where we make a lot of changes to it before we roll out the final product. So it looks like there's a bit of a bug, but we'll have your UV alerts every single day inside here as well. On the portal, under reports, under sunscreen application, we do your UV alerts every single day here as well. But it looks like it's not appearing today for some reason. I have to look back at that, but we'll have your UV alerts there. We also have your UV alerts down here as well. Okay. So we know it's quite hot today. I'm in Sydney today. It's about 35 degrees. The kids are about to go outside. I want to mark down which children I've applied sunscreen to. I go daily information, and in here I go sunscreen AM, and all I do is go, yep, I've applied sunscreen to Omar, Jerome, Hudson, and Austin. Tap on that, and that gets recorded straight away. Same with PM as well. So afternoon has rolled around. I'll come back into the app. I go sunscreen PM. Tap, 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 and it records that sunscreen have been applied to these 4 kids as well. Okay, let me just have a look at the questions here. I've got a few questions pop up in a sec. Laura, on the app, on my phone, the extra tab isn't there, can only be seen on the iPad. What extra tab, Laura? Are you talking about the flyout menu here? Are you talking about this menu section here? If it is, all you do is tap on they call it the burger icon. If you tap on the burger icon, it will appear for you as well. All right. Sonia, on the app, the back arrow on the check-in screen is not letting me go back on the check-in screen. Which check-in screen, Sonia? I assume you're talking about the center check-in or the room check-in. I'll come back to you. So feel free to type up a response there. If we missed to fill up any info, can we do it the next day? You can do certain things the next day. So you can't at the moment we don't allow you to remark up stuff like your daily information, your nappy changes, your sleep checks, your bottles and so forth. So we can allow it, but at the moment we want the onus on centres to do it that particular day, rather than going back and fudging the data or adding data that missed. We want to make it so that your centres are compliant. You're doing it as it happens throughout the day. Okay, so that might be something we'll revisit later. But at this stage, it has to be done for that particular day. But there are other stuff that you can do that you can change, but those daily routines can't at this particular moment. Let me have a look there. We missed. Can I use this in New Zealand or Australia? And Susie, you can use this in New Zealand. Okay, so obviously it's tailored for the Australian market with the EYLF learning outcomes and the NQS and the developmental milestones and so forth. But you feel free to use it in New Zealand as well. Going forward, we'll have stuff like the I can't remember more, but the Oscar standards and so forth. So we have all that coming up later on as well for New Zealanders. But at this stage, it's mainly the Australian stuff that you tag back to. But feel free to use it in your centre in New Zealand as well. Room check. Okay, so room check, just try tapping on that again, Sonia, and see how you go, okay? In the data information box where we add extra info about what they ate, where you add extra info about the child ate. I'll come back to that in a second, Laura, okay? So I've marked up the daily information. So I've marked up the children eating, sleeping, and so forth. What I want to do now is show you from a parent's point of view. As I was saying, parents get this information in real time. So I go into that's on the right-hand side. I'm going to log in as a parent. So open up the app. This is my timeline. I'll go through the whole timeline, how that all works in a second. But on the left-hand side, I'll hit the burger icon menu or the menu icon. I can see the responsible person on duty. I can see the UV alert as well. Okay, and this is what's supposed to show inside the app here. I'm not sure why it's not. OMA, I can see my child OMA. I can see the program, the newsletters, the roster, the QIP. But let's focus on OMA for the time being. Tap on OMA. At a glance, I'll talk more about this top section in a second, but today I can see Omar's had breakfast. He's had one portion of breakfast. He's had half a serving of morning tea, and he's had a Vegemite toast. Looks like I typed it in wrong there. He's had two and a half late snack or portions of late snack. He's had 3 cups of water, 2 cups of milk. I know he's had 2 sleeps, one at 1:22 and he woke up at 1:22, and the second one at 1:22 and he woke up at 1:23. Down here, I can see he's had sunscreen applied in the morning and sunscreen applied in the afternoon. I know Omar's eaten breakfast, morning tea. Let's assume he had lunch, afternoon tea. What has he had? Down here, we do your menu for you as well. That's why you don't have to punch in what the children have eaten unless they deviate from the menu. So load up your menus on the portal here, under menus. Oops, that's advanced. Add menus. Put in your menus there. Because most centres are on some sort of a cycle, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. Add those 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. Let us know when it's done. We'll put you on a rotation list. So in here, these are my menus. This is for my current week. And then down here, this is my 6-week menu, for example. Okay. Up here, we do your menu stats as well. So we track your consumption or your portions that you recorded, and we work out which menu items are popular and which ones aren't. This being a dummy center, obviously the data is not correct, but you'll see peaks and troughs in terms of what's popular and what's not. So that when you plan your menus, you know to include more of this, for example, and perhaps less of this because it's not getting consumed as much. Okay. So that's some of the stuff that we do, and it's all for free. This is all for free, okay? Inside here, so I know Omar's eating breakfast, morning tea, exactly what he's had. I scroll down here, and I can see the menus down here as well. So remember, load up your menus, your 3, 4, 5-week menu. Let us know when it's done. We'll put you in a rotation list. So if you're a 4-weekly menu, come the 5th week, rather than you having to punch it in yourself again, we'll go back to your 1st week and make that your 5th week menu. The 6 weeks, your 2nd week menu, and so forth. Okay, so that's my child's daily stats. I can flick back as well. So this is today. I can get back to say yesterday. I don't have to, come into the centre, have a look at the paperwork in terms of what you've marked my child as having that particular day. I can flick back to say yesterday, and I can see exactly what he's had yesterday as well. He obviously wasn't in the center, but this was the menu for yesterday. Let me go back to the day before that. I've got data there, January the 14th being the Monday. This is exactly what he's had that day. And down here, this is exactly the menu for that particular day as well. Okay. So as a parent, I get a trailing 3-week history, so I can click back and see what's happening on a certain day as well. Let me just check the questions quickly, if there's any more questions. All right, Sonia, sorry, working now. Laura, hopefully that answers your questions about extra info on the daily information box. Okay? So that's from a parent's point of view so far. So let's come back into the app. On the left-hand side, as an educator, next thing I'll do for compliance reason are my bottles. And not all your educators will do this, only the ones that are looking after babies or children that require bottles. Click on bottles, and I go to Caterpillar room. I generally defaults to the room that I'm in. I'm not sure why I didn't default here. Omar's had 170 mils. Jerome's had 160 mils. I can leave a comment as well. So I might say Omar had in sippy cup because he's transitioning to the sippy cup now. He's a lot older. He's not on the bottle anymore, so to speak. I tap on that, and that gets recorded straight away. So Miss Jane, 131, have given these kids their bottles there. If I go and view Omar's profile as his dad, I'll scroll to the bottom. A new section appears. Bottles. Miss Jane, 170 mils, 131, had in sippy cup. I don't have to write my name. I don't have to write my time. I just pick the meals, update that, put it in the comment if I wanted to, record that. It all gets timestamped for me. It's all recorded, who's done it, what time, all compliant, so to speak. Okay, that's your bottles right there. Omar's had a second bottle. Again, I come into the app, I click on this, and this time he's had 155 mils. I don't want to leave a comment. Tap on that, gets recorded straight away. That's your bottles right there. Next thing you do for compliance reason, I'll try to speed through this next bit here so that we can focus on all the important bits in a second. Nappy changes. Again, if it defaults to all here, if I want to see what my children in the center, let's go Caterpillar room. It'll show the kids in my room only. But if I go to all, it doesn't show me all the kids in the center. Right? So the app is smart enough to know it's only going to show me the ones that are in the center that require nappy changes, toilet training, or have a sleep nappy, so to speak. So these 5 kids here. So how does it know that? On your portal, under children, if I go view children and I go to Omar, Omar's in nappies. If I go to Omar, where is he? There he is. There he is there. I'll click on Omar. Down here, I can see that he has nappies ticked. If you have nappies ticked and he's in the center, as in he's attending today, he will appear inside this list here. Okay, so you don't have to worry about printing out your checklist every day, your nappy change list, or your daily information list. It's all going to be automated for you every single day based on the child's attendances. So in Omar's case, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you'll be on the app every single day. And then we'll be available on the nappy change list, the bottles, and so forth. So in here, I've changed a whole bunch of nappies. Mike had and these are different nappy types. BM for bowel movement, wet, dry, diarrhea. For the kids who are toilet training, loose bowel movement as well. For the kids who are toilet training, toilet bowel movement, toilet wet, accident, attempted, refuse, and nappy rash cream. We've pretty much covered a lot. If you feel like we haven't, let us know. We can add an extra item in there as well. So Mike's in the big room. He had a toilet bowel movement. Austin here has had a bowel movement nappy. Hudson's had a wet nappy. Jerome here has had a dry nappy. And Paul Omar has had diarrhea. Okay, so behind the scenes, I don't have to write my name, what time I changed the kids or taken them to the toilet. It was at 1:33. Miss Jane, I changed these kids here, and these are the different nappy types. To show you Omar's profile, I scroll to the bottom. I should have a second bottle, as I mentioned earlier. So here, 155 mils at 131, and a new section appears now. 133, Miss Jane, changed Omar. It was a diarrhea nappy. All timestamped, and all logged, all compliant. You know, who's done it, what time, what type of a nappy it is as well. Okay. The question that we get a lot with nappy changes is, what if we change a whole bunch of nappies earlier today? We haven't had a chance to put it in. Down here, you can specify the time. Because if I go mark it up now, it's going to mark it as 1:34. Up here, or down here, I specify the time. Let's say I changed the kids there. It was actually 12:35 today. And in here, I got Omar. Omar had a bowel movement nappy. And if I go and view Omar's profile now, and I scroll to the bottom, there it is there, I scroll to the bottom, instead of having an item appear under 133, it says 12:35, Miss Jane, bowel movement nappy. Okay, so that's your nappy change there, all timestamped, all logged, all compliant. The last thing I want to show you is your sleep check. So with your cot sleep check, this is only going to be any children in the centre who are under 24 months. So if I go all, which it is now, it doesn't show me all the kids in the centre. It's only going to show me the ones that are in the centre that are under 24 months. So in this case here, Omar. Right, so Omar's been asleep. Let's assume he's asleep anyway. I've got a notification. As I was saying, you'll get a notification to your device because Omar requires a sleep check. He's been asleep for 10 minutes. I go in there, I check an OMA. He's okay. He's breathing. His skin color's okay. I tap on the check button there. He checks it off. Miss Jane has checked on OMA. Let me bring up OMA's profile. A last section appears at the bottom for sleep check. 1:34. Miss Jane has checked on OMA. Let's assume 10 minutes have passed. I'm aware of it, or I get a notification on my device reminding me to check an OMA. I go sleep check, and I go, I've checked an OMA. Again, it records Miss Jane, 1:35, has checked an OMA. And if I scroll down to the bottom and I look at OMA's profile again, I see down here, 1:35, Miss Jane has checked an OMA again. So from a parent's point of view, I get confident in the fact that you guys are checking on my child at regular intervals. You're doing nappy changes. You know, he's had his bottle, he's had his food, sleep, and all that kind of stuff. I guess I'm satisfied as a parent. I can see that information in real time. It saves me having to call the centre up. And every centre has this, you know, paranoid parents calling up every single day, how their child's going, you know, is he restless, is he okay, how's he going with the other kids, what has he had for breakfast. They can see the whole here in a glance. So a good rule of thumb is generally sometimes when we roll it out to a centre, we go back and visit a centre, we ask them certain feedback questions, and a lot of the feedback that we get was, the amount of phone calls and emails they get from parents have reduced. Okay, so one centre we spoke to not long ago, down from about 15 emails and phone calls per day to about 2 or 3. And if you look at those numbers, say 10 phone calls, emails, 2-3 minutes every single time, you're saving yourself half an hour right there every single day. Okay, let me have a look at the chat log, see if there's any questions before I proceed. Beth, so far I also need to hear this again. Is that all good, Beth, I assume? All right, I'll keep going. So that's your sleep check done right there. Okay, so let's have a look at from a reporting point of view. So all this information has to be captured somewhere. If you're doing the paper at the moment, you're keeping, you're keeping these paperwork. You have to keep it for compliance reasons. So in case you get audited, assessor comes in, you can show that paperwork from say 2-3 years ago, or whatever the case might be. In the case of incident reports, having to keep it until the child's 25, for example. Okay, so a lot of paperwork. I don't presume to know how much paperwork you have, but I assume it's quite a lot, especially for multi-centre owners. You're going to have boxes and boxes of paperwork. Going forward, you won't have to add to those boxes. You still have to keep them, obviously, for your previous records, but you won't have to add to them. So let's have a look at some of the reporting that we've captured so far today. So all your reporting are in the portal here. Under reports, I won't go through all of them today, but let's have a look at some of the ones that we've captured today. Daily information. So today, let me just minimize the screen. Okay. So for today, 16th of January, I've got 10 kids in the centre. Breakfast, morning tea, lunch, afternoon tea, late snack, water, milk, sleep, rest bottle. All of that information's here. Who's had what, how many portions, sleeps, all that information's here. I can export this data to Excel as well. I can go file, print this out on a piece of paper if I wanted to. Obviously, we don't recommend you do that. You don't need to, but if you need to, feel free to print it out. I can go back as well. Let's say I've got audited. An assessor comes in, or I get audited. We had a complaint back on the 22nd of October. You can go back to 22nd of October. Rather than rummaging through boxes of paperwork, get report. Again, I can see that data on that day. So I've got 12 kids in the centre today on that particular day. Breakfast, morning tea, lunch, and so forth. All that information's there. Okay, that's your daily information. We do your nappy changes as well. So these are my nappy changes today. These 5 children. First change, second change, third change. Who done it? What time? What type of a nappy it is as well. You notice that it's all color coded. So bio-movement in orange, wet and blue, diarrhea in red. We also have smarts in place. What that means is if there are 3 or more cases of diarrhea in the centre, all your staff devices will get a notification. This works great for those large centres with multi-rooms, 3, 4, 5 rooms, or even 2 rooms. You might not communicate with each other throughout the day because you're in different rooms or different parts of the building. At least you'll get an alert, a notification on all your staff devices if there are 3 or more cases of diarrhea in the centre. Parents don't get notified. We don't alarm them. It's more so for you guys to be aware of it, and you can obviously implement any procedures or whatever steps that you follow when you have an outbreak of diarrhea in the centre. Okay? Again, go back to say 22nd of October, get a report. I can see nappy changes on that day. So in that case, on that day there, 5 kids again, first change, second change, third change, fourth change. Again, all that information's there. All compliant. Who's done it? Miss Jane. What time? 9:30. What type of a nappy? What child as well. Okay, so very thorough, all compliant. Sleep check. So sleep check follows the same premise. I won't go into too much details, but one check after the other. Who done it? What time? And so forth. Similar feature here. Export to Excel. Date feature at the top. Go back a certain date. You have to see exactly who had a sleep check as well. Sunscreen application. As I was saying, we usually show you UV alerts here every single day for you as well. This one here is missing for some reason, but for today, I can see sunscreen applied in the morning to these 3 kids here, and sunscreen applied in the morning, in the afternoon to these 4 children here. And what that means is you have accountability. You know which staff members are doing what because you can see it straight away. You're not relying on them or having to pick up a piece of paper to say, yes, they've ticked off the checklist or they've done the sunscreen. You can see it straight away. All right, so log into the portal, sunscreen. I can see, yep, 4 kids have sunscreen applied, 4 kids again in the afternoon, but Billy, Charlie, Chloe, for example, haven't had sunscreen applied. So I can start chasing up their educator, the room, or the case might be, or who's looking after Billy, Charlie, and Chloe as to why sunscreen have been applied to these children right here. Okay. Let me go back to, let's say, October 22nd here, and I'll go get report. As you can see, your UV alerts show for that particular day. So on that day there, 9:10 to 4:10, UV predicted to reach 8, which is quite very high. At the moment, it's extreme, being 13. I know that because we're in the dead middle of summer, so that's what you generally get. You'll see that, when sunscreen needs to be applied between what period right there. Okay? As a sunscreen application, the other thing that we captured was your daily room snapshot. So anytime you can go pick a room, get report, you can see the attendances. We haven't talked about attendances yet. Daily information, sleep check, nappy changes, and any write-ups that have been done. We haven't done any write-ups yet, so hence it's quite empty at the moment. Okay. We also have a DECS check report. So one of our centres had a DECS check today. Okay, so this is a report they can pull up. So here, I might, let's say the DECS report or a DECS check comes in, and Miss Jane, can you show us who was in this room? What time today? To say 12 o'clock today. Who was in that room? You can come to here, and I'll say 1:15, for example, and I'll go. That's actually 1 o'clock in the morning. 1:15. I'll go get report, and I can see at that particular moment at 1:15, I had 4 children in the room, but I had no staff members checked into the room just yet. So Miss Jane must have came in not long after that. Let's say 1:20. I think she would have been there by then. Get report in here. I can see Miss Jane was in the room at 1:21, and these 4 kids here were in that room with her. So I know I'm in ratio 1 to 4. I know I'm all right there. So that's your DECS check report as well. And you can get back. You can get back to say 22nd of October, right? Get report and tell me exactly who was in that room. So 22nd of October, these 4 children were in that room, and Miss Jane was in that room at that time as well. All timestamped or logged as well. Let me check the chat log quickly. If there's any questions. So Pat, this does incident reports too. It does send fast, but that's an extra feature. Okay, so here I'll talk more about that in a second. But under App Extras, this is where you can add on the incident report. I'll come back to that in a second. Okay. I love the parents can see what their children are doing. Yes, Beth, that's part of it. Okay, so that's a large part of it is being able to give parents as much information as possible. So rather than them having to come into the centre, see what's on their menu for today, or when they pick up their child, end of the day, read through their nappy change, the sleep, and so forth. Most parents are busy. Not all parents have time to flick through the paperwork to see what's happening for the day, but at least they get that on the app. They can see it at their own time, whether it's late at night or during their lunch break, or whatever the case might be. They have that information straight away. Right? Let me see what else questions are. Does this only report UV in Australia? Susie, at the moment, only in Australia. Okay, but we're working on getting the UV for the New Zealand centres as well. But generally, rural farm, summer, sunscreen needs to be applied at all times. Winter, obviously at your discretion, so to speak. Okay, but we will have it available for New Zealand very shortly as well. Palek, wondering what sort of info we can enter in app if we miss on the same day, or we can update. So, for example, you can do your checklist. So with your checklist, if you miss a checklist on this day, you can go back and then fix that up as well. Okay? So at the moment, your daily routines, you can't change. So the reason why we do that is we want the onus on you guys to mark things up as they happen. So, and it's not very hard. You do this at the moment on a piece of paper, so it's not very hard at all. And from a parent's point of view, getting to see that is a lot better than you changing it 2 days down the track, saying that Omar has had 2 portions of lunch, whereas 2 days ago I thought he had 1 portion or 0 portion at all. Okay, so that's why we don't allow it for the time being. We might later, but we're not allowing it at this particular stage. And our centres who are using it haven't asked for it either. So they mark it on the spot, and then pretty much it's available for parents straight away. Okay. Let's keep going then. Under reports, a couple of reports as well. We talked about daily room snapshot. We do your staff log as well. So in here, I can see Miss Jane checking into the centre at 10:59 today. She checked out at 10:59 as well. I did a couple of demos earlier today, or mucking around with it. But actually, she came into the centre today at 1:12, which is one that we logged into. and then she went into the Caterpillar room at 1:17, and apparently looks like someone's checked me out here at 1:28. Okay, so I'm assuming someone's probably playing with the app as well while I'm demoing here, but obviously someone's checked me out of the center as well. So if I go into here quickly, see, I've disappeared from the responsible person log right there. Okay, so I was speaking to my colleague. She actually checked me out. So let me check Miss Jane back in here. It lights up green again. Go check in, and now if I refresh this quickly, Miss Jane is back in the center. Okay, so yeah, she accidentally checked me out, so I apologize for that. Come back to the report. So in the reports down here, we do your staff log, right? Because we have your staff log. This is what your timesheet comes into play. Okay, so let me scroll down here. Let me pick a particular period last year. I know I've got some data on 23rd of July, and down here, let me go to say 30th July. I'll go get report. Down here, we can export this data out for you. Your check-in time, your staff check-in time, and the check-out time. So Miss Jane checked in on the 23rd of July at 11. She left at 9 o'clock at night. She worked 9 hours and 53 minutes today, or that particular day. Export that data to Excel. Export that data to Excel. Has your time in, time out. If you have rostering, if you have the roster feature, we have your rostered in time, your rostered out time. Export it to Excel. You can play with that data. You can import it into your accounting system. Does your payroll based on your timesheet and your rostered in time as well. Also has employee number, so you can marry that off with your accounting system as well. Okay, so that's your staff log right there. A good rule of thumb here, or a good little option that you have available here is if a staff member has checked into the center, obviously at the wrong time, as an administrator or a director of the center, I can change that login time as well. So a user called App Support checked in at 11:31 today. Let's assume that person actually signed in at 9:30. I can go into here and I can change that time here as well. So I might say, yep, App Support, you actually came in at 9:30. I saw you, but you haven't checked in until now. So update that. Now App Support goes up as 9:30 a.m. So as a director, administrator, you can change that. Your staff members can't change it. So if they have forgotten to check in for today, let them know, check in now, and you can adjust the time for them as well. Okay. Now again, let me quickly check the chat log. I saw a few stuff come up. What about education review office comes in and staff starting out have forgotten to check things off, but have done them. This report will only show checked off things. How would the manager adjust this to report it for ministry requirements? So you could do it on the day. So for example, your checklist. So let's say your checklist wasn't done, or it was done, but I haven't ticked off on it at any time. You can go to reports here. You go reports. I will talk about checklist now. Go reports. I go checklist. Indoor AM was actually done. I can tap on that. I go sign off. Mr. Tom actually done that, or Mr. Praveen, for example, he's done that, and he actually done that at 10:30. So now if I sign off on it, the checklist, indoor checklist, has been completed by Mr. Praveen. Okay, even though he hasn't ticked off on it on the app. On the portal, if I refresh this, my checklist all up to date. I don't have a checklist that's overdue now. Okay? Hopefully that answers your question there, Susie. Beck, can you add lunch times to the timesheets as well? We don't add lunch times, and the reason being is generally you have a default lunchtime. So your breakfast is a certain time, say 6 to 8, your morning tea is a certain time, 8 to 10, your lunch is between 12 and 1 and so forth. So you had that already set. So rather than having to manually add that every single day, generally your parents will know that's particular lunchtime. And that might show up as your center policy documents is lunch, breakfast, a server just pick the time, so you guys don't have to re-enter it every single day. Okay, so again, we try to minimize the stuff that you guys have to do and just having to do the essentials, and everything else we automate for you. So that's your checklist there. Quickly, let me bring back up again. Checklist here. I can filter by different checklists as well. Let's go opening checklist, and I'll go get report, and I can see all the latest opening checklists. So this is today. Yesterday wasn't done. The day before wasn't done, and so forth. So depending on a demo, obviously they'll be ticked off if I have a demo. But if I don't have a demo, generally they're unticked right there. I can also go back in time as well. So I might say go back to the 1st of January, and I'll go get report, and I can see a list of checklists for that particular day. So the 1st of January, none of these checklists was done besides the opening checklist done by Miss Jane at 2:41 p.m. Okay. Down here, I didn't talk about responsible person log, but in here, we do your responsible person log as well. So Miss Jane, responsible person at 10:59, overridden by Miss Jane at 1:12 because she checked out the center. App support became the responsible person at 1:28, and then Miss Jane became the responsible person again at 1:45. Okay. He add more locations for staff to check into, or are they already set in the system? Matthew, let me bring up the log again in here. Oops. Let me just close this application down. Okay, so with your room check-in, we have your different rooms. So depending on how many rooms you have, you add that inside your portal here. Add room, and then your rooms will be available here. I've only got 4 rooms here. So if you have 5, 6, 7, add those 5, 6, 7, for example, and then they'll be available inside the app here. By default, we have programming, break, admin, family grouping, kitchen duties, keep cleaning duties, excursion, and study put into the app for you automatically. If you want any extra items, let us know. If we agree to it, we'll put them inside here as well. Okay. Coming back to the app quickly, one last report I wanted to show you was your checklist we talked about, responsible person log. Checklist. I talked about it already. Responsible person log. I talked about it already. So that's automated. So depending on who the responsible person is, we automate this for you. So what that means is, if I go view all staff, I've got a RP order here. Okay. So what that means is, if Miss Jane is in the centre, she's checked in, she becomes the responsible person. If she wasn't in the centre, and if she wasn't in the centre, but Mr. Tom was in the centre because he's the next person behind her, he becomes the responsible person. Okay, so it's all automated. It's all automated. So you guys don't have to worry about it. It's based on the responsible person order right there. Any questions before we hop back over to the app and talk about uploading images and videos and a few other stuff? Okay, let's jump back onto the app then. So back on the app, as an educator, let me pop this back up. So on the left-hand side here, I've got a list of all the kids in the centre. Hang on a sec. Tony and Pat. So does the responsible person get a notification once they become responsible? They don't. Okay, so generally, on the app, if you log in and you sign in as a responsible person, down here, it'll pop up here, letting you know that you're the responsible person right there. Okay, so we don't send a notification when you become the responsible person. Also, I'll quickly show you, I'm going to send a check-in here. You can override the responsible person as well. So Miss Jane's the responsible person at the moment. Let's assume she's in the centre, but I know she's doing paperwork today. She doesn't want to become the responsible person. Another person can come into the app, click on this, sign in, and they'll become the responsible person. They'll override Miss Jane as the responsible person. Okay. Please email this video. My computer is muted. I cannot unmute it. Okay, Farah, we'll send out this is recorded, so we'll send out a recorded session after we finish the webinar today. So back on the app, on the left-hand side, you've got a list of all the kids in the centre for today. Okay, so these kids are in the centre today. You might be asking, what's that big red exclamation mark? That denotes any children who have any allergies, dietary requirements, or any other special information. So Billy, in Billy's case, food-wise, lactose intolerant. Other, early pickup every day, 3 p.m. except Friday, and asleep, requires a comfort blanket. So this is about giving your staff members as much information as possible as well. What's wrong with Austin? Tap on Austin. Food-wise, nut allergy, and skin-wise, severe eczema. Omar, what's wrong with Omar? Food-wise, can I have dairy and fish? Cultural-wise, halal and other requires 2 naps per day. This is great for your staff members in terms of, especially with your new staff members. If you've been in the centre for a while, you know every single child, what their allergies are and so forth. Going forward, if you have a new staff member, I'm new today. Let's assume I'm new today. My first day as a director, I'm new today. I don't know Omar from Austin. We do photos. We encourage you guys to upload photos of the kids. Obviously, it makes the app look a lot better, but at the same time, it also gives your staff members, the information straight away. So I'm new. I know, yep, that's Omar, and that's Austin. I know that straight away. At the same time, what's wrong with Omar or Austin? Because I know a big red mark appears next to the child's name. Tap on that. I can see exactly any information that I need to know as well. And this is a child died here in Sydney not long ago, but I think about three months ago here in Sydney, not far from our office. Died in care. Anaphylaxis, I'm not sure if it's a nut allergy or some sort, but that child died. So our guess is the department are going to, when they do the next round of checks, they're going to ask the centres, how do you make your staff members aware of children with any special needs, allergies, and so forth. Hang on a sec. Can I please have a recording session too, please? My connection keeps cutting out. That's fine, Susie. We'll send this through. We'll send this all through later on. Okay. So back to the allergies and so forth. So the department are gonna ask the centre directors, how do you make sure your staff members are aware of the children of any allergies, dietary requirements, or any special needs. So first things first, we show this big red mark next to the child's name. We also show that when you're feeding the kids. So let's use an example. I'm serving breakfast at the moment in my Caterpillar room, all right? And in here, now I know why I wasn't checking to the Caterpillar room, because I got checked out. In here, Omar, what's wrong with Omar? I'm serving breakfast at the moment. Or let's go to breakfast here. I'm serving breakfast at the moment. What's wrong with Omar? What's wrong with Boston? Tap on Omar, because I'm new to the center. I don't know what Omar's allergies are. Click on this, lets me know straight away. Can I have dairy and fish? I'm serving breakfast. There's milk around, cheese, or whatever the case might be. I know to keep him away from dairy products right there. What's wrong with Austin? Tap on Austin. He's allergic to nuts. That's fine. We don't serve nuts. We also have a comprehensive list here as well. Allergies, dietary, and other information. If I tap on that and I go all kids, by default it's all kids already, it shows Billy. Obviously he has some sort of allergies, dietary requirements. I can see exactly what any children with any special needs on this particular day. This is a great little list for our kitchen staff, for example. They're preparing food. They know what ingredients or what food to avoid for certain children. At the same time, let's say I'm generally in the Caterpillar room, but all of a sudden today I've been moved to the butterfly room because the short staff. I'm not used to Billy. I click on Billy. I can't get him to sleep. I read his information. It requires a comfort blanket. Hopefully give him the comfort blanket and go to bed right after that. Okay, so again, it's about giving your staff members as much information as possible. That's the allergies, dietary requirements, and other information. Big red cross here, what is that? This is the feature that's not available, so I won't go through too much details, but that's your medication report. So on the app, if you have the app extra medication report purchase, that'll be a item that'll appear where your parents can fill in a medication form. My child requires Claritine today, how many meals, how to apply it, what time and so forth. Staff members sign off on that form, becomes a completed medication form. Parents get that straight away. So rather than parents having to come into the centre, fill it all in, they can do it on the app, and it's all logged, it's all digital as well. So I won't go into too much detail because that's not a free feature, so to speak. Click on Omar, and here a couple of options you can do. Okay, so at any time you can click on any child as a staff member. You can see the information for today. So how many portion-wise for breakfast, lunch, morning tea, sleep, sunscreen applied in the morning, bottles, nappies, all the information is there. So you can relay this information at any time to parents if they happen to call up the centre. At the top here, you have emergency contact numbers. Okay, so that's available at your fingertips. So if Omar hurt himself, or whatever the case might be, yep, I'm gonna call Francesco. That's his dad. That's his phone number there. I can dial the number straight away. I don't have to waste time. Go to the office, 2-3 minutes. Find out what the child's parents' contact details are. It's available inside here. Okay. Menu icon on Omar's profile. There's a few things you can do here. So I'll only touch on the stuff that's free. View or post. So you can see all the posts about Omar. You can add a note for Omar's parents as well. So Omar had he had an accident today. Has soiled clothes. Can you please bring some in? Add note. Write that note there. Okay, that gets added to Omar's profile, and also his profile for today. But also at the same time, parents get notified. So notification gets sent to Omar's dad and mum's device, letting them know. In this case here, Omar has soiled clothing. Can you please pick it up when you pick them up, for example? Okay, that's your notes right there. We do goals as well. So you can add goals for children. Add goals for children. So you do this via the portal here under children. I go view or children. I'll go Omar. Manage. Oops, there it is. Add goals. Add goals. Put in Omar's goals. Once I have those goals put in, they'll be available inside the app for the educators to see. So anytime you pull up his goals. This is obviously last year's goals. I haven't updated this yet, but these are the goals that we're going to try to work on for Omar. So goal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I know as an educator what I need to focus on with Omar because I have his goals available right here. Okay. We also do incident reports as well. I won't go into too much details about this, but we do your incident reports as well, just like you do at the moment with a piece of paper where you fill in that child's hurt themselves, you mark the child's front and back, you write down exactly what happened. Parents come into the centre, fill it in, becomes a completed incident report, and you have to store that incident report up until the child's 25 for compliance reason. We do that here inside the app as well. So we fill that in, parents get alerted straight away. They can sign it on their device. Saves them having to come into the centre when they pick up the kids, getting pulled aside and reading it and signing off on it. They can do it at their own time. We also push a notification every single night if they haven't signed off on it, reminding them they need to sign the incident report so it becomes a completed document. Okay. Down here we do documents as well, so you can have children's documents. So you can view documents. You have a bunch of documents for the children here. So this year in Omar's case, 2 months vaccination, 6 months immunisation history, Omar's exercise plan. whatever documents are relevant to the child, enrollment forms, and any forms that you want to tie back to the child. In the portal here, again, I'll go OWNA, I'll go manage child's documents, and here, this is where I can upload those documents. When I upload them, I put in these documents, what they are, any comments, whether it's private or not. If it's private, it won't be available on the app. Upload the PDF or the image, add document, it'll be available inside the app here for your educators to have a look at. Okay? From a parent's point of view, immunisation record, they can upload that immunisation record as well. So in here, I go upload immunisation record, and in here, I fill in, yep, this is a 2-month vaccination. Upload that photo or the PDF, whatever the case might be, submit that, you guys get alerted straight away. So it saves me having to bring in the vaccination report or the immunisation history. I can do it straight here on the app as well. That's your children's documents. Lastly, was another thing that I wanted to have a look at. Bring it up. Upcoming attendances. So anytime you pull up the upcoming attendances, and you can see when OWNA is due in the centre. If it's been marked absent in advance, we haven't talked about this yet, but parents can let you guys know if a child's not attending in advance. Mark it as non-attending, it'll light up red here, letting you know. Okay. BECS, we'll email the video, so don't worry about it. We'll send another email later on if you guys are not getting the webinar properly today. We'll email a recorded session to everyone after this particular webinar. So that's your children there. That's what you can do with the kids every single day here. So notes, instant reports, goals, documents, medication record, upcoming attendances. What I want to focus on now is this program checklist free. It is. So I'm not sure who reception is, but yes, the program checklist is free. Again, what I'm showing today is all for free. Okay, so just keep in mind what I'm showing today is free. If anything that's not free, I'll mention it. So on my timeline, this is my task screen. So on my timeline, this is where I post up images and videos of the kids learning and playing and all that kind of stuff. So before I do that, I want to quickly show you what we do on the timeline. We automate a few things every single day. So first thing that we automate is your program. So if you do curriculum programming on our app, on the portal here, curriculum program, if you go and add your program, make your program available, it'll be available on the app for your parents to see. And this is a requirement for all centres. Your program's got to be visibly available for parents. Most centres print it out, have it in the front foyer. You can do that as well. Or on the app here, it's available on the app. So I don't have to, read that piece of paper in the centre. I can do it at my own. When I work on the train into the city for work, whatever the case might be, I can see it here at a glance. So today's program, culture, community, Indigenous perspective, investigation, discovery, nature, sustainability, exactly what the kids are doing for this particular day in the Zebra room. I'll come back to programming in a second. We do your menu on the timeline as well. Just like we do on the child's profile for the day, we also do your menus on the timeline. And the reason why we do that is parents can comment on it, they can like it. So give you guys feedback. We're big on feedback. We document all your parent communication, all your parent feedback. A large part of any childcare organisation, especially when you get assessed, is an assessor likes to see parents are contributing or they're part of it, they're part of the decision making. We allow parents to comment on it, they can like it. And because they comment on your menus, you know from your menu stats what's popular. Also, from comments from parents what are popular, what they like to see as well. And you can make better decisions with your menu as well. Just like you can with programming. I'll come back to that in a second, but same with your menu as well. Okay? Down here, we do your birthday messages every single day. So every single day, if a child has a birthday, we'll do a birthday message. So Chloe had a 5th birthday here. So this is the automated message that goes out every single morning, assuming it's a child's birthday. Chloe parents would have got a notification first thing in the morning. Ding ding pops up on their device. Happy birthday from all of us in this case here, Sunnyside. Okay. Down here we do, and this is your default birthday message. If a child doesn't have a profile image, so Jerome down here hasn't got a profile image, so we show just a standard happy birthday message. But if they have a profile image, we'll publish out their profile image right there. Okay. Down here, we do your vaccination reminder. So let me find, before we do that, your staff birthday. We push out your staff birthdays as well. Happy birthday to the wonderful staff members. One comment that we got from a centre was the assessor mentioned that they weren't celebrating their staff enough. So hopefully this might help in that case that we are, we're celebrating our staff. We're letting parents know it's their birthday. We don't publish out your age, but we do just let you know. We let parents know it's that staff member's birthday for that particular day. Down here, there's a vaccination reminder. So Hudson turned 4 years on November 18th. But because it coincides with 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, and 4-year birthday or anniversary, we'll push out a vaccination reminder on the timeline, letting them know to bring in their updated paperwork. But now, because they can upload the immunisation history via the app, we might actually change this message to say, please upload the vaccination report on the app for the centre. So you guys don't have to worry about manually putting in yourself. Okay, so we're trying to automate the whole process there for you. Any questions so far? Any more questions before I start posting up images and videos and showing you how that all works? Hopefully I haven't missed out any questions. I'm just having a look back at some of these questions. I think I've covered most of it. Okay, so feel free to type it in. If you've got any questions, I'll keep going. Next thing I want to do is I've got a program in place, as you can see here. Today's program, X, Y, and Z, we're doing this. I've done those activities. I've taken pictures of the kids doing it. I want to upload that for parents to see. How do I do it? So in here, you've got a big plus icon. Okay, so depending on if you bought the logo feature, your logo will appear here. In most cases, if you haven't got it, you will have the big plus icon right there. So I'm gonna click on that. I'll go to compose my text. Right before I compose my text, I want to quickly show you a new feature that we've just rolled out. So we've only rolled this out yesterday or so. You don't have it on your app just yet. We'll make it available in the next version. So what that means is on this screen here, if I type away, say I'm doing a write-up. So this is my write-up here. It's quite long. I haven't finished yet, but all of a sudden, internet has gone down. The internet's gone down. My app has crashed. I'll lose my work. So this is what has happened with a couple of our centres where they'll write up one big long write-up. For some reason, the internet goes down, or the app crashes, or the iPads run out of batteries, and it shuts down on them straight away. So this is the new feature that we rolled out. So here, I've got the text written here. Let's simulate that function where my app crashes. So let me just do this. I'll close out of the app. I'll just close the background task. Now, if I relaunch the app and I go into my timeline, and in here, I go compose my text still appears there. Okay, so it's not lost. It's still kept right there locally on your iPad. And then the only time this will disappear is if I cancel this post. It will disappear now. Or if I publish this post out now, it's successful, then the line that I've written now will disappear, and then it'll get published out live straight away. Okay, so it's a little feature that we rolled out, hoping that if anything happens, you don't lose your work, because a lot of times we have those emails come in. I've typed a whole bunch of stuff. I've lost it. Can I retrieve it? We can't retrieve it for you. Obviously, if it's lost. So hopefully, going forward, it's available here. You can re-edit it and resubmit it right there. Okay? So I'm doing my write-up. So before I do my write-up, let me delete this text that I've written just now. So I'm going to do my write-up about the kids learning and playing today. So before I do that, I want to upload some photos. So I go to my camera roll. I'll take a picture now, or go to my camera roll and pre-select some images that I've selected already. So these 3 images here, I'll go select. And let's assume I've accidentally selected 4 images. So that's actually incorrect. I don't want this one. Tap on that there, that disappears straight away. Okay. I actually want this image to appear first. I like this image here, so I'll move this over to there, and then this becomes my first image, second image, and third image. I can upload a video as well. I don't have any videos here, being a simulator, but if I had a video, I can go into here and then go and select my video, and then pick my video. It'll be available there as well. So let's assume this is a video. I'll go select. Now that video is my 4th item right there. So let me just delete that. I've got 3 images. I'll go OK. Now I'm uploading 3 images. Before I post this up, I haven't written anything yet, but I want to tag the kids that were part of it. So I'll go to my second icon at the bottom, which is the person icon, or the child icon. Tap on that, and I'll go Hudson was part of this one, Jerome was part of this one, and Omar was part of this write-up as well. So I'm going to tag these 3 kids here. Similar, just like you do on, say, I don't know if you guys use any other childcare apps or so forth, but or social media. If I'm doing a Facebook post, I've taken a picture of a couple of friends. I'm going to post it up, but I'm going to tag my friends as well. Same process here as well. So I'm doing a write-up, and these 3 kids here were part of this write-up. So I tag it back to these kids here, and this will link back to their portfolio, their write-up, or their post, and then all the outcomes and stuff that we selected will also link back to that child as well. So these 3 kids here is who we're dealing with at this particular stage. Okay. Carly has a camera slashed out. Austin has a camera slashed out. Why is that? That just lets you know that child, these 2 children here, shouldn't be put up on the app. So their parents might have said no to being available in the app, or that they want all their posts to be private. So hence it shows up on the camera / down. Right. So with those parents who are hesitant, I'll come back to you in a second, Tony. So with parents who are hesitant about being on the app, you got to reassure them. This is a private app. This is not like Facebook where the whole world to see. This is a private app only for parents of the centre to be able to see. If they're still hesitant, what you can say to them is, we can mark up everything private. So what that means is, if I put up a photo of Austin or Charlie, I'll mark it as private, so no other parents will be able to see it. And the reason why you want to do that is you don't want this parents not to be part of the app, because you're going to have to manually give them paperwork, write their observation, their follow up on a piece of paper, and give that to them. You don't want to create more work for your staff members. So at all times, try to convince them, try to get them on board, part of the app. We can make everything private. No one else will see it besides you. Charlie's case, only you as Charlie's mum and dad would be able to see it. Okay, so for today's purpose, that's fine. I'm only dealing with Hudson and Jerome, so I'll go, okay. So let me answer this question just quickly. Pat, can you fiddle the pictures? For example, if a child photo wasn't to be shared, would you block them out? We don't have a photo editor on the app when you select that photo. So what you can do, Pat, is you can have a separate photo app. You can use the standard photo app on your device, for example, and you crop them out before you upload those images. Okay, so entirely up to you. But we don't have a built-in feature to crop those images or block them out or edit those images. Okay. My third icon at the bottom here. So 1, 2, 3. This is my EYLF learning outcomes. You have EYLF and principles and practice. Sorry, EYLF and NQS by default. I've got a whole bunch here. Okay, so by default, you also come with EYLF learning outcomes, as well as your NQS. On my one, I've got principles and practices, theorists, developmental milestones, kindergarten outcomes, and my time out play. So if you want these, just head over to the App Extra store, and I think they're about 99 cents. You can purchase those as well. Okay, so it's quite cheap, 99 cents. If you don't want it, fine, don't use it all. But it comes with EYLF and also NQS as well. So for today's purpose, I'm going to link back to say 1.1, 1.2. For principles and practices, partnership was achieved, so I might say partnership. And for NQS, I might say this one here and this one here was achieved. Rachel, that's what we'll have later on. Okay, so as I mentioned to Susie earlier, at the moment it's all Australian-based stuff that you link back to. But going forward, we'll have the New Zealand framework and so forth going forward as well. Okay, so hopefully not too much longer. NQS, I might say theorists. So if you're using theorists, this and that. Okay, and let's pick one more. Developmental milestones. Down here, I might say language was achieved, emotional, cognitive, and so forth, and I'll go, okay. So I'm linking back to 10 individual items right there. My fourth icon there, which is the briefcase, is my portfolio. So if I'm writing an observation, a follow-up, or a learning story, I'll click on, say, observation, and it gives me an observation type template. So I can write my observation, my title, the actual observation date, when it started, ended, the actual observation, the evaluation, the where to next, and the follow-up date. Let's assume this is an observation, which it is, and I specify a follow-up date. Let's say the follow-up date is for, say, Monday, the 21st of January. If I publish this out now, what happens is on your staff communication diary in here, and this part's free, staff communication diary, it creates an entry for 21st of November, sorry, 21st of January. I've got my dates mixed up here. 21st of January, you'll create an entry in your staff calendar, similar to this one here. I'll open up this one. Follow-up due for Austin. Follow-up to the observation test, which is done on the 1st of January, needs to be done for Austin today. So that's back on the 8th of January. So you'll get something similar to that. So Monday morning, 21st, you'll say a follow-up to the observation, whatever I name it now, is due for these particular children. Okay, and a notification will get sent to all your staff devices, letting you know, and a follow-up is due on this observation. And the reason why we do that is, you guys are busy. Things fall through the crack. You might not remember to do the follow-up. At least you get a heads up first thing in the morning, letting you know that follow-up is due on that particular day. Okay, so that's quite a powerful feature there. So make sure you make use of it right there. I'm going to remove this, remove that, go back to my free text field. So I'll run a generic post. I don't want to fill out that whole big observation here. My second last icon at the bottom is my program icon. So I click on that. I can link it back to my program. So depending on how many programs you have, they'll be available here. I've only got one program, which is the Zebra Room program. Let's assume these kids are part of the Zebra Room. This is their program. Okay, yep. This here links back to my Zebra Room program. Because I link it back, it's going to create documentary evidence. It's all the photos and all the videos that I've taken are going to link back to this particular program. Okay, and I'll show you that programming in the next section. Okay. My last icon there is my lock icon. If I lock it, that means only parents of these 3 kids here will be able to see it. If I unlock it, that means all parents on the app will be able to see it. So you can pick and choose what you want to make public, and what you want to make private. So if you create a portfolio post, it's automatically a private post. But if you do a generic post, which it is now, you can pick and choose if you want to make it private or if you want to make it public. Okay, so your choice. If you want to make it private or public. I want to make it public. All parents can able to see it because this is a generic post. I want parents in different rooms to be able to see what's happening in my room. So I'll go, Omar, Jerome, and Hudson really enjoyed today's activity. As you can see, I've got a spelling mistake there, so it pops up red. Let me go and fix that up. So I'll come back and fix that error message as I edit in a second. So let's assume I published that. I didn't know it was a spelling mistake. I'm happy with that. I have a draft icon at the top here. Now you guys don't have that. So if you want that draft icon, is an app extra. You can purchase that, and you can put your post in draft before you publish it out. Okay, so up to you. You can purchase that, or you don't have to. Entirely up to you. So if you have it available, you have this draft feature here where you can publish this out as a draft and come back and work on it later on. So you might be busy, for example. You're changing a bunch. I'm writing a post. All of a sudden, I need to change a whole bunch of nappies. I can draft it and then publish this out later on. So I'm happy with the publishing this out live. So I go publish. There is a limit. I'll come back to that in a second, Rachel. In here. You don't see this, but on my device as a parent, I'll get notified. So because Omar has been tagged in this post, I should get a notification on my device because it's simulated. You don't see that, but let's assume I got that. I'll click on the notification. It will alert me. It will let me know that Miss Jane has put up a post about your child. Have a read of it now. So I'll click on it. Opens up that post. I can flick through the images. Yep, I like this one. I can click on it, and I can save those images to my device as well. Okay, so here, save that. It goes straight to my device right there. There it is. Okay, straight to my device. I can like it, and you get alerted straight away. So I'll say Francesco Lopez has liked your post, and again, it's about acknowledgement. You know that parents have viewed it. You know parents have acknowledged it. They like what you're doing there. I can click the info icon. I can see all the learning outcomes that were achieved. Whatever's been tagged, I can see it here. Principles and practices, theories, developmental milestones, NQS, all that information's here. Okay, and down here, I can see who's liked it as well. Obviously myself. I can give you guys feedback. Comments right here. So I might say, Omar really enjoyed today's book reading activity. So let's assume that we're doing book reading today. Dad mentioned that in this case here, Omar really enjoyed today's book reading activity. Submit that. Again, you get that straight away. You get that straight away, and this is all documented. This is all documented. I'm getting some messages saying my voice is dropping out here. I'm not sure if you're getting it, but rest assured, the recording hopefully should have it all loud, and you'll be able to hear me clearly. So Francesco has commented on that post. So because he's commented on the post, it all gets documented, it all gets tracked back, and I'll show you all that in a second. Okay, so as a parent, let's talk more about a parents on the Parents app, so to speak. So in here, I have a running commentary of what's happening throughout the day. I can see your programs, your menus. I can see your write-ups every single day as well. And we encourage you guys to post stuff up throughout the day. Right? So some centers tend to post end of the day, one big write-up, what the kids are doing and so forth. Going forward, what we find works best, and what from our analysis and our analytics, our statistics, is parents like to see what's happening throughout the day. So rather than reading one big write-up end of the day, they like reading snippets. So they know what the child are doing, in the morning, like around noon, end of the day, they get a running commentary. So let's assume you post quite a lot. I might not want to see it all. I can go funnel icon. Depending on Android or iOS, the iOS has a funnel icon. On Android, it has a 2-arrow icon. So it's same function. Click on that, and you have your filter there. So I might say, I only want to see my child. So go my children, and obviously it says children because you might have multiple kids. As a parent, I don't see stuff like the program and the menus and so forth. I only see stuff that Omar has been tagged in. Okay, I will have a portfolio section here as well. So anything that's been tagged as a portfolio post. So down here, these are all tagged as portfolio posts. Down here, my follow-up, my observation, and so forth. So whatever's been tagged as a portfolio, I'll have available here to read. I don't have to read through the timeline to find it. I'll be able to filter it. It will be available here. Okay. We do a nice little Instagram type album mode as well. Click on that, and it'll bring back a list of all the photos and all the videos that you've taken, or Miss Jane or the centre has taken on Omar, available here. I really like this one. Tap on that. I can save it to my device as well. If there's a video, I'll hit the play button here. I'll be able to play the video here as well. It's just like I can on the timeline. We also do a few different filters as well, so I can filter by different rooms. So Omar's in the caterpillar room. As of next month, he's going to transition to the butterfly room. I can pull up the butterfly room post. These are all dummy posts, obviously. I can pull up the butterfly room post, and I can see exactly what they're doing in the room. Only things that are public. Anything that's private, I won't be able to see. So Miss Elizabeth published this out last October. Yep, they're doing X, Y, and Z. I know what to expect when he joins the butterfly room in the coming months. Okay, so it's what about giving parents as much information as possible as well. So don't get into the habit of locking everything. We find once you lock everything, as a parent, I can only see what my child's up to. I don't see what's happening across the centre. So you might be doing a certain thing in a big room, but my son's not part of it because it's in the baby's room. But at least I get a bird's eye view of what's happening across the centre. So I know the good things that are happening. I know what to expect when he gets older and when he joins the big room, so to speak. Okay, so make sure you also, make things public as well so other parents will be able to see. Let me answer some questions quickly before I jump on to the next bit. Rachel wrote, are there limits on how many posts you can do on a free app? I think it's set at 20. I think it's set at 20. We find on average across all our centres, the average is about 15 posts per day. But we have centres that post 100. We have centres that post 1 or 2. But then now on average, it's about 15. So we've upped it to 20. So your post, you can do up to 20 posts per day. If you want unlimited, there's a feature where you can purchase that. You have unlimited posts. All right. So that answers your question. He said it so another educator can post your draft to proofread it first. Yes, you can. Because if you buy the draft feature there, it goes into draft, and your director or whatever can proofread it before they publish it out. Parents can read other kids' report via the apps. No, they can't. So it only depends. So if it's public, then they can. If it's private, they can't. Okay. So how much is draft? Take a look at the app extra section there on the portal. Under here. App extras, somewhere here, somewhere. Where is it? There it is. There. It's $4.99. Okay, so cheap as. Okay, so $4.99. Purchase that. It'll be available in the app. Did I answer all the questions? Was draft free upgrade? Okay, cool. So here, so back to the filter. Different room filters. So I can filter by different rooms, and I can only see things that are public. So public, I can't see anything that's private. So reports and stuff generally be private. I won't be able to see any other children. I'll be able to see my child only, or anything that's public. We do a parent post as well. So as a parent, I can post on the app as well. And the reason why we do this is, especially for Australian centres, if you look at the QA6, talks about parent communication, feedback, interaction. We allow parents to post on the app. And the reason why we do that is parents can let you guys know what the kids are up to when they're not in the centre. So you guys can form a better opinion of what the child's hobbies are, what his interests are, based on stuff that parents have posted up on the app. Also, this is a communication channel. So parents can post stuff up on the timeline, lock it, and then only you guys as staff members will be able to see it. So I might say, Omar, we're running late today. We'll be in the centre at 10 past 10 instead of our regular 8 o'clock. I can post that up as well. Okay, so in here, I'll click on the plus icon. In my case, can other parents see parents post? I'll come back to that in a second. I'll click on compose, and I could write something here. So Omar is running late. We're running late today. We'll pick up Omar, just before closing time, rather than our usual 4 p.m. Pickup time. So I could write that up, and I can go lock. And if I lock it, only staff members will be able to see it. If I unlock it, that means all other parents will be able to see. So I might do a public post. I might post something up that's generic and I want other parents to see as well, so I can leave it unlocked. But if I'm writing something private for staff members, I just lock it, and now only staff members will be able to see it. Okay, so quick example, private message. I might say private message, and I'll go submit. And in here now, if I go view or post, you can see up here as a staff member. Let me refresh this. There it is there. Private message, Francesco. It's a private post. Okay. So hopefully that answers your questions. Can parents see other posts? So it's based on privacy, lock or unlock. And so come back to the parent post. In here, you can use this as a source of information. So you can browse through the timeline. You can see that in this case here, Francesco mentioned that Omar went to the Opera House because they talked about the Opera House in class. He loves doing Play-Doh. There's a photo of him doing Play-Doh. He loves doing puzzles. There's a photo of him here completing 3 puzzles for the weekend. He loves swimming. Down here, there's a photo of him swimming. And down here, there's a video of him here running a little athletic. So you guys form a better opinion of Omar. He's sporty. He loves swimming. He loves running. When he's in the centre, when you're looking for ideas to do Omar, perhaps you incorporate more sporting play because Dad has mentioned that he loves sports, he loves puzzles and whatnot. As an assessor, you can show this to the assessor. Assessor comes in, wants to look at how parents are interacting, feedback, and so forth. You can show that here. Filter by parent post, rather than showing emails or post-it notes that you've written conversations with parents. It's all available here. Who wrote what? Francesco wrote this. 24th of August 2017. There's a video of Omar running a Lou Athletics. Another dad here wrote that his son loves fire engines and so forth. So again, you form a better opinion of the child. But at the same time, from an assessor's point of view, they get to see all your parent feedback, comments, and so forth, all in one nice interface, rather than reading through emails or printed out copies of emails, so to speak. Right? Any questions with the post, the timeline, images, videos, and the filters and so forth? I've slightly gone over. I've just realised the time's actually 2:25. I can keep going. I'm happy to keep going. If you guys want to hang around, I can keep going. If any of you guys need to go, this session's recorded, and we'll send out the recorded copy. A link to download the recorded copy after we finish the webinar today. But, I'll keep going. Probably maybe another 10, 15, 20 minutes or so. We'll see how we go. As a parent, I can let you guys know if Omar, just confirming most post images and others, when it will be available for Android apps. It's already available on Android, Palek, so you can download the Android OWNA app now. It's all available there. So it's available on the App Store. It's available on the Google Play Store for Android devices. It's also available on the Amazon Kindle Fire Store as well for anyone using a Kindle Fire. Okay. I can let you guys know if Omar's not attending the centre. So in here, I'll go Omar won't be attending the centre. Let's say next week. Let's say which we're here. So next week, say the 23rd of January. So 23rd of January, Wednesday. Omar won't be attending. So I go choose. I can give a comment. Omar has a doctor's appointment. Okay, and I sign this. So physically run my finger through it, and I sign this. Obviously, for in Australia here, you need a signature for any days that children haven't attended. You need a parent signature. So here, all compliant. I go submit this. Are you sure? I go yes. And now, if I go to my attendance list for next Wednesday, first things first, an email gets sent to the centre, a notification gets sent to your centre. Then you know that that Francesco has marked Omar as not attending next Wednesday. So if I go to my role for next Wednesday, I'll go get report. I can see straight away. I've got 10 kids attending that day, but Omar won't be attending. So Francesco, 226, click on that. I can see his signature, and I can also see the comment that has been written as well. Omar has a doctor's appointment. And on the app, if I go and view Omar's profile quickly, and I go and view his upcoming attendances, I should have a red dot appear now for Wednesday. Omar has a doctor's appointment. So I know straight away any children who won't be attending, I can see here at a glance. I have a attendance list as well in here. I didn't talk about it earlier, but my attendance list, this is for today. I haven't signed any kids in, so hence there's no one signed in at the moment. Okay, so I know it goes against what I've talked about earlier, but we have an attendance platform as well. I'll come back to that in a second. But if I go back to if I go forward to say 23rd of next week, I can see straight away here as well. Omar won't be attending. He's marked as red. Omar has a doctor's appointment. Okay, so instead of having 10 kids, I've only got 9 for that particular day. So that's the marked non-attendance there. The next feature here is a premium feature, so I won't touch on that, but it's casual booking. So I can go into here and I can book any casual days. So if you make casual days available, and next Wednesday is available because Omar has pulled out, so it becomes available. So if I assume it's another dad wanting that Wednesday, it's available. Book this day, automatically books that day for him, gets added to the attendance list, and so forth. So that's an extra feature that you need to pay for. It's called the casual bookings feature right there. Okay. Handover form. So this is another feature that you have to pay for, but I'll quickly show you because I think it's quite useful. Click on that. This is great for parents giving staff members information. So especially Omar's a little bubba, I can let you guys know when he last woke. So I might say he woke at let's say 6 a.m. or 7:28 this morning. Time of breakfast. He had breakfast at 7:30, for example. Details of breakfast: Milo, eggs, blah blah blah. Time of nappy change. He had his nappy change at 7:30. It was a bowel movement nappy, whatever the case might be. And I'll go submit. Let me type something up. So I might say bowel movement, and let's say he had eggs and Milo. Just so that I'll show you the data. So in here, I'll go submit. Oops. I'll go submit. And if I submit this now, again, you get an email to the center. You get a notification on all your staff devices as well. So in Omar's profile, I'll get alerted, so I know, yep, I'll check on Omar's profile, and I can see straight away any handover information. So time woke, he woke up 7:28, his breakfast. 7:30 had eggs and Milo and nappy change today. 7:30 bowel movement nappy. So as a staff member, I have that information. It's only, let's assume it's only 8 o'clock. Omar's in the centre. I know he just woke up at 7:30. He's not due for another sleep, for another few hours right there. So it's about, again, giving your staff members as much information as possible so you guys can make better decisions based on the information that you have. Okay? Any other questions on the parent side of things? I'm going to jump over to programming, talk about programming. I'll give you guys about 2 minutes. If you've got any questions, type it in. Another thing as a parent is we have your event calendar, all right? And this is all for free. That's all for free. You can load up your events. And as a parent, I can, World Religion Day, tap on that. Obviously it's blank at the moment, but you can include any information. Type it in there, and it'll be available for parents to read inside here. So your events are stored under here. I go view events. These are all my events there. If you want to add an event, I'll go add event. I can add my event right there. So let's edit an event. I might go and edit the World Religion Day here, for example. Let's put in some text. I'm just going to copy some text from somewhere here. So let me just do this. Rather than me typing out gibberish, I'll just paste this in here, and I'll go update. So now if I go into the app and I go World Religion Day, here's my text right up right there. So all right, that's World Religion Day. I know what to expect. I can hit the add to my calendar, and that adds it to my phone calendar or my iPad calendar or my device's calendar straight from that there as well. Okay, so I know that gets added to my calendar, but also at the same time, I've got a calendar of the event in the center for that particular year in the palm of my hand there. There's a nice little feature that you can purchase. All right, so it's RSVP. It's called RSVP. So when you add an event, you can specify if this event requires an RSVP. And if it requires an RSVP, I think we have one that requires an RSVP. Let me have a quick look. One at the bottom. Okay, here. So kinder graduation, that requires an RSVP. So as a parent, let's say I've my child's graduating. I'll get to the bottom here. Kinder graduation, there it is. Tap on that. There's a RSVP section that appears there. So you can have it available on your app. You purchase it. You can do RSVP. So as a parent, I can go, yep, I won't be attending. You get the notification letting you know that Omar's dad won't be attending. Or I can go, yep, I'm going, and that records me as going or RSVP to the event. And in here, if I go kinder graduation, view RSVP, I can see straight away Francesca Lopez will be going. Okay, so rather than sending emails to parents, get RSVP on the app, click on the RSVP, you know straight away which parents are coming, which ones aren't coming as well. So let's head over to the portal and let's talk about programming. So we've done our write-ups. Here. As you can see, we posted some images up here. So behind the scenes, we had a program in place to do these activities. So how was that done? Before I do that, let's go back to the app quickly. So programming, as a staff member, I can see my program here. So curriculum program, Zebra Room program, exactly Monday through to Friday, exactly what we're teaching the kids. So today's Wednesday, I've done this. I can tick these items off here. Tick these off here, it records that we've completed these activities right here. It's not so much about ticking off every single item, it's more so you guys tracking what has been done and what hasn't been. So end of the week, when you're reviewing your program, you know what's working. Maybe you've allocated too much task for that particular week or whatever the case might be. You can reflect on that, and you can reflect on that, and obviously you can plan your program a lot better next week as well. So that's what it's more about, rather than ticking off every single item. At the top here, as a staff member, I can evaluate it and I can reflect on it. All right, and this is quite important, especially when you get assessed from an assessor. You can have the best program in the world, but if the assessor comes in, wants to look at your program, wants to look at how your staff members are reflecting on it, how they're evaluating it, if they don't see that, you're not going to win their praises. They like to see that you guys are constantly reviewing things, seeing what's working, what's not, and improving on it. So that's a big word right there. It's improving on it. So if you can't document that, you're not going to win their praises. Because that's why a staff member is going to evaluate it. They can reflect on it inside here. As a parent, I get your program on the timeline, but also I get your as you can see there, or I've got your program available via the left menu here. Tap on that, and I can see straight away Monday through to Friday exactly what you're teaching the kids every single day. So I know how to plan better. So let's assume you've got painting on Friday. I can see it. I know, for example, rather than dressing Omar in a white shirt that day, I can bring him in a black shirt. I know you guys put in an overall for Omar, but the paint still gets through every now and then, and the white shirt generally has all sorts of color paints on it. Going forward, I can make better decisions as well. As a parent, I go, yep, I love Omar doing painting, but perhaps I give him a black shirt that day rather than a white shirt. Little things like that make a difference. Okay? At the top here, instead of having a evaluation icon, I have a feedback icon. In here, I can write my feedback for your program, and this is all about documentation. It's all tracked, just like you saw with the menus, just like you see with the parent comments. Same thing here as well. I give you guys feedback. I'll do that now, so I'll quickly show you how it all looks. I really enjoyed this week's program. A bit of everything included. A bit of everything included. So as a parent, I can give you guys feedback. So in here, I go submit. Now that feedback goes back and ties back into your programming. So let's have a look at how the programming is all tied in. Okay, so on the portal, this is where you plan out your program. I go click on program. I go view program. This is the program that I've been linking back to, Zebra Room program. Click on this. Topics we're exploring this week, starting in the big kids room. This is the Zebra Room, Miss Jane, Miss Tom. We've done 65% of this program. Okay, so what that means is we've ticked off 65% of the activities. Again, not about ticking off every single thing. It's more so about you guys being aware of what has been done and what hasn't been. Let's assume this is Friday. I've seen we've done 65% of it. I can carry over these particular activity maybe to the following week because we haven't done it. That's what it's more about, rather than trying to tick off every single thing. Or I might look at this and say, yep, we spent so much time on the program this week. We're only able to do 65% of it. Perhaps next week we might lighten the load. Okay, and I might write that as my reflection. I might write that as my evaluation as well. Down here, we said our goal for this week was starting in the big kids room and making children comfortable with it. Our EYLF learning outcomes that we wanted to do was children feel safe, secure, and supported, because we're going to make them comfortable in the big room, and so forth. Down here, any spontaneous experience. And the reason why we do this is your program. So you might be a structured program in the sense that you plan things, or things might be spontaneous. So a child might have suggested a certain thing. You like that, you can document that here. Okay, so whether it's from a parent, whether it's from a child, whether it's from another staff member, it's a spontaneous experience. You document that here, because you document it here. We know why you know why you're doing certain things. So this you're doing this particular activity here because it came from a spontaneous experience. It all links up. You know why. So it wasn't planned. It was a spontaneous. Especially when your assessor comes in, looks at your program, they can see straight away, oh, that's why you did this, because it's a spontaneous experience. Or this was a planned activity, so to speak. Any group experience? Family feedback. Okay, so this is where we pull back all your family feedback on the app onto this one screen here. So what that means is you don't have to print off emails with your family feedback, or you don't have to, you have a conversation with parents. You don't have to put it on a post-it note and somehow transfer it back to your program. On the app, they put in your program. They go to your program. They give you guys feedback. We pull it through inside here. So here, I really enjoyed this week's program. A bit of everything included. Francesco wrote this on the 16th of January. So this is all documentary evidence. Okay, so you can see straight away parents are participating, or they're interacting with this program as well. They're giving you guys advice, they're giving you guys feedback, suggestions. It's all documented in here. Any learning extension? Program evaluation. So obviously that came from here. Program reflection goes inside here. The best thing we'll do for you is this part here, your linking. So at the moment, I've got 52 images and videos that I've taken on the app that links back to this program. I've got 35 posts. When I say a post, your post is a write-up. Your write-up will consist of a portfolio or follow-up learning story, a generic post. If I link it back to my program, it'll show up inside here. So I've got 35 of them. I've got 9 children involved in this program, and I've got 25 comments from parents on the app that link back to your program. So this part here, as a parent, if I go to this post, because this links back to the program, and I'll give you guys a comment, that's what that comment section is here. Down here, I can tell EYLF learning outcomes. When I did the post, so as an educator, I'll quickly run through it again so you guys are not lost. So when I did that post, a write-up earlier, I went into here, I went to my write-up, and I put in my write-up, I selected my images, and down here, I selected 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. That's what this is tracking. So out of all the posts that we've done, the 35 posts, we're linking back to EYLF 18 times, or 1.1, 18 times, 1.2, 26 times, 1.3, 21 times. I know we're on track. And the reason why I know we're on track is at the top here, I said when we created the program, we're going to focus on 1.1 and 1.3. And down here, I can see our staff members are linking back to 1.1 and 1.3. So I know we're on track. If this program was based on 5.4 and 5.5, for example, and I can see all of a sudden, no, we're not linking back to any 5s, I know there's something wrong. Right, so that's just a nice little report straight away, so you can see your EYLF summary right there. And going forward, because we track NQS, Spheres, we can have that available here as well. Okay, and the New Zealand ones as well for I think Rachel and Liz. Is it Liz? I'm not getting it. Sorry if I got your name wrong. Down here, all your documentary evidence. Okay, so any images, any videos that you've put up on the app, and you link it back to your program, we pull this through for you automatically. So here, I can see these 3 images, the last 3 that I've taken on the app, and because it links back to your program, we pull this in here for you. So as you can see, you're evaluating your program. End of the week, this is going to be so much, this is going to be so helpful. So rather than having to flick through the iPads or digital camera, find all the images that you've taken for this week, if you link it back to your program, we pull this through here. You can see it all in one screen, nicely summarized. Okay, down here. Thanks, Beth. So the summary of EYLF, fabulous. Our write-up. So this is the write-up here. So these 3 images we uploaded coincides with these 3 images up here. Omar Jerome Hudson really enjoyed today's activity. There's a spelling mistake. I'll show you how to edit that in a second. Miss Jane wrote this, 215. I've got 1 comment, 1 like. I can see the children that were tagged. I can see the achievements, EYLF, NQS, Spheres, developmental milestones, kindergarten outcomes, or whatever the case might be that we link back to. I can see who's viewed it as well. So Miss Jane's viewed this, Francesco has viewed this, and Miss Danielle has viewed this post as well. So we track that here. As you can see, who's viewed it. You can see at any time, dad, mum, teachers, you can see it available here as well. Okay, down here, I scroll through 35 of these posts, and again, a lot of it's dummy posts. Comments. So I wrote this earlier. Omar really enjoyed today's book reading activity. Francesco wrote this at 2:17 p.m. Obviously, I'm based in Sydney. It's 2:17, or it was 2:17. Timestamps logged here as well. Okay, so these are all our 25 comments. So as you can see, it makes your job a lot easier when you're reviewing your program. It's all there in one spot. From an assessor's point of view, rather than handing them over a program, here, assessor, this is a program for last week. This was all the images that we've taken. These are some of the videos. These are some emails from parents with feedback and so forth. It's all done nicely on one screen here. So it makes their jobs a lot easier. Click through that. It all links up nicely. Okay? So in saying that, how do you create your program? So first thing first, you have to create your categories and interests. So you head over to categories and interests, and then you build out your categories and interests. So by default, yours is empty. You put in stuff like, again, don't take what you see here as what you need to do. Whatever you do at the moment. So I have stuff like technology, STEM, phonics, cultural differences, creative expression. Let's assume phonics wasn't added. I'll go phonics, type in phonics, add category. Phonics will be a topic or activity I can base my program off next week. So let's say I've added that. I'll go to add program, and in here, we're going to create a program for next week. And we're going to do 21st to the 27th. The topics we'll be exploring, we're going to do Australia Day, because next week is Australia Day. And already so fast, right? In here, I'll go Caterpillar Room. And I'm going to say Miss Elizabeth and perhaps Miss Megan are the educators responsible. I can pick as much as I like as well. Obviously, in this case here, these 2 are the educators responsible. So goals, meaning we want children to understand meaning of Australia Day. And let's fix that up. Okay, Australia. In here, EYLF learning outcomes. So last week we're focused on 1.1, 1.3. Let's say this week we're going to focus on 5.4 and then 5.5. Obviously, I know they're correct, but let's assume we're focusing on these ones for next week. Categories and interests. So I might say, yep, we're going to do culture and community, being Australia Day. We're going to do cultural differences as well. And perhaps I chose phonics earlier, so I'm going to do phonics as well. I know from last week, we allocated too much activities. So I might say, because based on my evaluation, based on my reflection, I wrote that we allocated too much activities. I might go into here and say, we're only going to do one more, which is munch and move. Okay, so now I've got 4 areas that I'm going to focus on for this week. So now, this is where I plan out my week. So I can be a program. The way you see it, it can be structured or it can be unstructured. So what I mean is you can be structured in the sense that Monday, you can be before you can plan for Monday. So let's assume today's Friday, or I'm planning for next week. Okay, Monday, we're going to do X, Y, and Z for cultural differences. We're going to do that on Monday as well. Munch and move, we're not going to do, but for phonics, we're going to do A, B, C, whatever the case might be for Monday. And then go add program, and then come back Monday afternoon, fill in Tuesday, for example. Come back Tuesday, fill in Wednesday. So I can be unstructured, more spontaneous and plan out day by day, or I can be more structured and plan out my whole week. So I'm like, yep, we're going to do that on Monday, Thursday, Friday. For munch and move, we're going to do it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and so forth. Plan out my whole week there. anytime you can go in and adjust it as well. So I'll talk about that in a second. Any spontaneous experience. So you might have a conversation with another staff member, a parent, and they might have suggested a spontaneous experience. You can type that in here, and then you can say, yep, we're doing this phonics activity because it's based on a spontaneous experience. Group experience, family feedback. So by default, when you start your program, the family feedback is empty because it hasn't been created just yet. But you might have had a conversation with a parent. So a parent came in, picked up their child, but I had a conversation with you. Oh, Miss Jane, I really like the fact you guys. I really think you should do phonics next week. Focus on phonics. Omar loves it. It's been 2 months since he did it. He really talks about it. You can mention that here. So Francesca mentioned that we should do phonics. We think we haven't done it for a while. Type that in. Now you know why you're doing phonics for this particular week. Any learning extension? Save as draft. Add program. Okay, so I won't add this, but let's assume I've added that program. Or if I save this draft, anything in draft shows up as orange. It means it won't be published on the app just yet. If it gets published, the orange disappears. It's available in the app straight away. So let's assume this was the one that I've added just now. At any time, I can go edit, and I can edit this program. So in here, let's say I've planned for next week. This is what I'm doing, but all of a sudden I think we've done too much, or we're doing too much. I can remove that, and now I'm down to 5 activities or 5 main categories of interest that we're going to focus on this week. Okay, down here, I can enter any spontaneous experience, any family feedback, evaluation as well. So I can evaluate on the app, or I can come into the portal and I can type up my evaluation. I can type up my reflection here as well. Okay, with reflection, you can type it as one big box, or you can follow these steps here. Was it a good challenging week? Why? Goals, objectives achieved, and so forth. Update that, comes my program. Okay, so that program's updated at any time up here. And in the summary, you can print this out. Print this out. We do a nice little printer-friendly page here. Print it out, and then you can stick it to the front foyer. Program's updated. Any changes, print it out, stays in the front foyer. Parents can see it straight away. Assessor comes in, they can see your program in the front foyer as well. Okay? They don't see anything below that. Anything below the fold down here that parents and educators don't see. They only see, parents and the public don't see. They only see everything above this area there. Okay? Let me see if I have any questions quickly. No other questions. Any other questions before I'm not taking probably a lot of your time. I can show you a lot more, but any what I want to do is next 5 minutes or so. Any questions that you guys have? Any features that you want me to touch on? There's a whole bunch I haven't talked about just yet. You know, your QIP and so forth. I haven't talked about attendances. What do you guys want me to show you? Let me know. Feel free to shout it out or type in the chat box there. I'll be able to answer any questions or I'll be able to show you any features. All good at the moment, Tony? Okay. I'm just flicking through the chat comments, seeing if I missed anything. I notice that most of you guys are still online, so that's good. I generally get a lot of drop-offs by the time 1 hour comes around because you guys have to get back to the children and so forth. But it's good to see that the majority of you guys are still online. Did you see CWO through this? Short answer is no, not at the moment. The reason why we haven't rolled it out is we have our CCS platform coming very soon. This ties back into CCS, ties in with our waitlist, also ties in with our enrollment forms as well. So we're doing all that with our CCS platform, and CWA will be part of that as well. So that's why we haven't rolled it out just yet. Just a quick update on our CCS platform. We pretty much built it. We can't release it just yet. And the reason being is the department has put a hold on new developers like ourselves from releasing our CCS platform. My guess is they want to make sure that the time and attendances, which came into place earlier this week on the 14th, run smoothly. Because after the debacle of CCS back in July 2018, when the department fielded many complaints from centres and parents as well because subsidies weren't paid and all that, it was a nightmare for them. So they put a hold on new developers. They want to make sure that the current crop of developers, like your Quick Kids, your KidSoft, your HubWorks, are up to speed. Obviously, it's at the detriment of us, but it is what it is. We're waiting to hear back from them, and hopefully next week, the week after, when things have worked out, it's all smooth, we're able to roll out our CCS platform, and that's when we do our CWA and our wait list and our enrollment forms, and it all ties back in nicely into our your attendances, submitting your numbers. End of the week, it's going to be seamless going forward. Any other questions? Feel free to type it in. Okay, so while you got me online, feel free to type in your questions now, rather than sitting back and not asking. If you've got any questions, no matter how silly or whatever it is, feel free to ask them now. How many New Zealand customers do you have at the moment? Rachel, I haven't counted. I haven't looked through the database, but I'm assuming we've probably got close to 100 centres. Okay, so that's my rough guess, but it's probably about a good one. Just while waiting for any questions, just give you a bit of a rundown. So we've been building childcare for almost close to 3 years now. So primarily we're focused on the Australian markets. Obviously, we're based in Australia. I'm going to be biased here, but we've got the best platform out there. So when you compare it to Storypark, Kinderloop, Educa, KepMe, whatever, KinderMate, KinderHub. When you compare it to those platforms, I want to be biased here, but I've looked at all of them, and we build the best platform. Even our free version is a lot better than most of probably about 99% of the paid stuff out there. Okay, so we started out with the Australian centres. So late last year we started expanding. So we've opened up to New Zealand centres, centres in Singapore, Malaysia, also the US as well. Okay, so it's going to be a bit more tailored for New Zealand markets going forward. At the moment, again, a lot of it's Australian-based stuff, Rachel. But going forward, we'll have your Kiwi curriculum, and we have more stuff that's Kiwi-related as well. But at the moment, you can use it for your daily routines, because that's all common. That's all stuff that parents need to see. Your programming you can do as well. Your daily routine, as I mentioned. Your posts, your write-ups. That's all stuff that parents need to see at the moment anyway. So that's why you can start using it in terms of not being able to tag. Do those individual things. Sure, you can't do that, but going forward, hopefully you'll be able to. Okay, do you have help desk we can call for help? Yes, we do. So on our website, you'll see it. We have our phone number listed on the website. A lot of companies don't do that. Okay, they don't list their phone numbers. Everything's via email. We list our phone numbers. We love to hear from you at the same time. If things need to be sent by email, send them by email. Okay, that's why we get attachments and so forth. We can see them rather than you guys haven't given us a call. We answer it and telling you, hey, can you email us the attachment? So, but feel free, if you need to call us. If you need to email us, the email's on the website as well. And multiple family members log in to see the child's profile. Jane, yes. So 100%. So you can have up here. So let me quickly show you. On the children, I go view children. Let's say Omar. Omar has three guardians, or three parent or guardian attached to him at the moment. He's got parent 1, Gabrielle, parent 2, Francesco, and other family. So John, other family, and so forth. So parent 1 is mandatory, and obviously after that you can pick. We cater for, I guess, 2 sets of grandparents. So we call it other family. So there could be uncles, aunties, whatever the case might be. We don't say what it is. It's just more so if they're attached to Omar here, if they log in, they'll be able to see Omar's profile. They'll be able to sign him into the centre. If you use our tennis platform, they're able to pick up casual days and so forth as well. Rachel, do you have somewhere to load policies and manage the updates? 100%. Okay, so I didn't talk about this. So your policies and procedures obviously got to be available on the. A lot of centres have it in the front foyer. Folders and folders of policies and procedures that parents don't read. Okay, and that's a true. Parents don't read it, but you got to have that available to satisfy the department's requirement in case they come in and they want to be able to see it. So as a parent, on the app, under here, I've got useful documents. I've got your fact sheets. I've got your policies and procedures, your centre policies. I can click on them. Click on that, and I can have a read through. In this case here, your dispute forms, which is obviously a dummy form here, but I can read through it straight away here. Right? So how do you manage your useful documents? We also have helpful websites as well, so you can load up any helpful websites for parents to have a read there. I'm not sure why it's not loading up here. It might be my internet. But how is it managed? In here, on your portal, under Centre, under Useful Documents. These are all my useful documents. I can upload my documents. So Sunnyside social media policy. Let's assume I uploaded that. Looks like my document summary is wrong there. So I might say social media policies regarding images and videos of children. I can set an expiry date as well. In here, I want to say this expires on the 26th of January, Australia Day. And I'll go update. Okay. If I update this now, because I have an expiry date on the 26th of January, I'll get a notification. I'll get an email to the center as well, letting me know that that social media policy is now expired. So as you can see here, expiry date, in this case, I chose 25th of January 2019. This document expires. So I'll get an email reminding me, and I can update that document. And I can tell parents, make sure you have a read of the document, and they can read it online. They don't have to come into the center and pick up a folder and read it, because we know parents don't read that. They can read it on their devices going forward by going to the settings screen. Okay? So hopefully that answers your question there, Rachel. That's our helpful website there. List of all websites. I'm not sure why it's not loading on the app here, but yeah, there it is there. So there's my list of websites right there. Okay. Tony, can families select through the apps who they want to see their child's info? No, they can't. Okay, so that there, it's one size fits all at the moment. So what that means is, again, if I go to OWNA and I'll go into here and I go, yep, Gabrielle, Francesca, and John, OWNA's guardian, or they have access to OWNA's details, they'll appear. When they log into the app, they can see everything to do with OWNA. Okay, if I select another parent, say Corey, for example, now Corey has access to OWNA's details as well. Okay, so that's how it works at the moment. Any other questions? Tony, we do. So on the website, here. So all you do is go down. Down here, we've got our contact number right on the top there. Also, I think we've got it in the bottom somewhere as well. There it is there. All right. And in here, just go get in touch with us. Put in your details there, and then submit your inquiry. It'll come through to us. Or our email is obviously support@owna.com.au. Send that through to us there on support, our help desk line, or you've got my details here as well. Okay, so there's my details there. I'm happy to give that away. Not worried at all there. So if you've got any questions, you've got any issues with the app, feel free to give myself an email, give me a call, give the help desk a call as well if you wanted to. Entirely up to you. Okay, so we pride ourselves on our support. You might have seen this already. So when you applied for your free app, you probably got a response straight away. If not straight away, within the hour or so. So we pride ourselves on our support, our support crew, our team. Working with our centres, getting things fixed, getting issues resolved. We pride ourselves on a great service and support. So feel free to call or email any time. Any other questions? Anything I haven't covered that you guys wanted me to go through today? Okay, so what I'll do is, if there's no questions, I'm going to wrap it up. It's close to 2 hours now. Hopefully you guys haven't stuffed up your room ratio by being on the call or the webinar today. If you haven't implemented the app in your center, feel free to start straight away. Okay, so go in there, go through the whole process, set up your center. You would have got a instruction sheet in terms of what you need to set up, your rooms, your children, and so forth. By all means, set it up. Today, get up and running, and you're going to find your center is going to save a lot of time. Processes are going to be improved based on the app, and you're going to get a lot more family feedback. And most of all, parents are going to love the app as well. Okay, so every parent used to this interface, and used to social media type interface, and used to getting information that way. You're going to find it's going to work a lot better for your center as well. Okay, so in saying that, thanks for having me. we'll try to run this webinar every week or every second week. If it's not myself, it'll be my colleague. We'll same thing every single week. Or feel free to. I know you've seen it already, but feel free to join again next week or the following week and ask any questions that you have. We'll try to do it on a regular basis. Okay, so in saying that, thanks for having us, guys. We'll shoot through an email. We'll shoot through an email of the recorded session. It's going to be a big download, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be close to about 700-800 megabytes. So we'll get you to download the video. You can play it at your own time and go through the whole webinar. Well, hopefully with my voice intact, so to speak. Okay. Thanks for having us, guys. See you later.